Hello guys, this is my other video on United States Constitution and government. So the previous two videos we watched, it was about the Constitution itself, what does it do, the powers of government and stuff like that. Today we are learning what rights and freedoms the Constitution gives us as a people, especially the Bill of Rights. And remember, the Bill of Rights, those are the first 10 amendments of Constitution. Again, what are amendments? Amendments are changes or additions to the Constitution, basically rules to the Constitution. And remember, there are 27 total amendments currently in the United States Constitution. Again, what is the Bill of Rights? The first 10 amendments are called the Bill of Rights. These amendments, they protect freedoms that all of us have as Americans. So let's go over and see the first 10 amendments as the most important ones and what rights we have under those amendments. The first amendment is called freedom of expression. You can say what you think, you can practice any religion you want, you can share your ideas, you can write your ideas, you can hang out with your friends and tell the government if something is wrong. That's the First Amendment. Your Second Amendment is right to have firearms. What it means is people can own and use firearms. They can protect themselves, but they must follow safety rules and laws. There are specific laws how you can store the firearms in your house that nobody can get hurt. Third, no forced sleepovers. That's the Third Amendment. It means that the government can't make any soldiers stay in your house without your permission. Your house is your castle. You are the only one who can let somebody stay in the house. No one else can make you or force you to do with your house that you don't want to do. Number 4, privacy rights. What it means is you have a right to privacy. The police cannot just come to your house and decide to search for your house for anything, unless they have a good reason, unless there is a special paper signed by the court saying that they have a reason to search your house. Number 5, fair treatment, Fifth Amendment. You can stay silent if somebody asks you questions, and the government must follow fair rules to give you fair treatment. Number 6, you have a right to fair trial. If you're accused of a crime, if you did something wrong, you get a fair trial, a fast trial, and you can have a lawyer who can help you to defend yourself. So you have a right to a fair trial and a lawyer who can represent you, somebody who knows the laws and can help you to protect yourself. Seventh Amendment, jury trial. If there is a big case involved, not just a one small mistake that you made, but a series of mistakes, and it's very hard to come up with the proper punishment for your mistakes, they usually assign a group of people. Those are just regular people. They don't work for the government. They're just people from the street, and they call them jury. And sometimes this group of people can help decide what is fair in your case for your punishment. Number 8, no cruel punishment. What it means is that all punishments must be fair, not too harsh or extreme. So for whatever mistake you made, you're gonna get a fair punishment. Number 9, more rights than listed. What it means is that people have other rights too, and some of them are not written down in the Constitution, but it doesn't mean that people don't have those rights. because obviously it's very hard to include every single right everyone has in just a simple small book of rules, constitution, because they have 27 rules. And like I said, it's very hard to list every single rule that people could do in the constitution. So that's why they only covered the most basic, the most important ones that everyone must follow. Number 10, 10th Amendment. If rule isn't given to the national government, then the state or the people get to decide it. Remember in the previous video, we talked about the powers. Sometimes states on the local basic level decide what is good for the specific state that might not work for the whole country. So we don't just have rules that apply to all people in the United States, but there are some different rules that apply only for the state where you live in. So keep that in mind. Other important amendments that we need to know besides the Bill of Rights. Remember the Bill of Rights, first 10. So now we're going down on the list, and I picked the most important ones that are not included in the Bill of Rights. It's the first one I have is number 13. So 13 states end slavery. Slavery is illegal in the United States, but it wasn't the case until 1865. And we all know that there was a civil war going on in the country between North and the South. A little bit of history here. The war was between in the years of 1861 to 1865. And what happened is that the Civil War divided the South and the North part of the United States. The North wanted to keep the country together, and they did not want any slavery. They believed that every person who lives on earth have a right to be paid for their work, and nobody can make them work for free or use them at someone's disposal. And South, they wanted to keep the slavery. So, and we all know the North won, and in 1865, thanks to Abraham Lincoln, who was pushing very hard to stop slavery in the United States, they were finally able to include that in the 13th Amendment. So here we are, 13th Amendment. There's no slavery in the United States. 14th Amendment, equal protection. Equal protection to everyone. What it means that everyone must be treated fairly under the law. There are no exceptions. Number 15, all men can vote. So what it means is all men, no matter of their race, no matter how they look, they're white or black, they can vote. And that law, that amendment was added in 1870. Also around the time after the Civil War ended. So it didn't just stop the slavery, but it also equalized that we are all people no matter how we look, which was very important. Number 19, women can vote. Believe it or not, but before 1920, women were not able to vote. And women made that happen through different type of movements and showing that they have just as much rights as men. So we're not just equal by race or color of our skin, but also by the sex. So we all equal on earth, and all of us should have the same rights. Number 24, no pain to vote. What it means, everyone can vote and nobody should be charged to vote, because all of people who are living in the United States, not everyone has the same income. And if we judge people based on the income they make, that would not make it fair, because everyone, no matter of their race, the sex, they should be able to vote and it has to be free for people to vote. Again, why do we vote? We are, as a people, under the United States Constitution, we have a right to pick the leadership, to pick who's going to be in charge of the government, in charge of the Congress, who is going to be our president, and who is going to be in the court system to protect our rights. All those things are very important. That's why it is our right to be able to vote without being charged any money for it. That's one of the freedom privileges we have. Next one, 26th Amendment, voting at age 18. Anyone 18 or older can vote, because we believe that's the legal age where a person is mature enough to make an educated decision what's best for the country and who should be in charge of the leadership. All right, so why those amendments matter? These amendments obviously make our country more fair, and they protect people. They also help fix problems and expand rights and include more people over time. So I hope that was helpful. That's it for today. Just a few questions to go over, just to make sure you retain the information. What are amendments? Again, we talked about it previously. Amendments are changes or additions to the constitutions. And as we know, there are 27 amendments total. How many amendments are there? Which answers my question that I just answered. There are 27 amendments. What do we call the first 10 amendments? The first 10 amendments are called the Bill of Rights. Remember, these protect freedoms that all Americans have. Next question. Which amendment protects our freedom of speech? So look at the list real quick and make sure to pick the correct answer. Freedom of expression or freedom of speech is our First Amendment. Which amendment ended slavery? Remember, slavery, it's not under the Bill of Rights, it's a little bit further down the list. And if you said 13th, you were correct. 13th Amendment states that slavery is illegal in the United States of America under the Constitution. And that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video and have a good day.